you ever wondered why there's so many more autistic people now than it seems like there ever has been before? Well, we've always been around, so let's take a look at our history. Many archaeologists believe that in prehistoric times, people with autistic traits were embraced and celebrated as the first specialists of their day because of their unique capabilities. Unfortunately, though, at some point that viewpoint shifted. For many years, there were a lot of fairy tales circulating around the British Isles, Egypt, Spain, all over. They all have a common theme around something called changelings, or babies who were taken from their families by fairies or demons or other creatures and replaced by an identical baby who had a lot of traits or features that were described that we now know are traits and features of autism. Because these stories dehumanized children so badly, they justified all kinds of cruel treatment like beating or even abandoning children in the woods to die alone. It's even been suggested that some of the women who were condemned as witches were actually autistic people and just condemned because they were different and outspoken. In the 1800s and early 1900s, autistic people were often sent to insane asylums. These places practiced cruel treatments such as lobotomies, electroshock therapy, ice baths, forced drugging, solitary confinement, and restraints. Parents sometimes felt so desperate for help because they had no resources that they had to trade custody for treatment. In the early 1900s, doctors would use terms like idiot or mental retardation, and they would often blame mothers for being refrigerator mothers, for being cold and distant, and blame them for their children's disabilities. This contributed to a lot of shame and stigma surrounding any kind of differences. During World War II, autistic people were separated into those who were able to work in camps and those who were sent to die. The work of this doctor is where the term Asperger's came from. It wasn't until the 1980s and 90s that we started diagnosing autism, and the diagnostic criteria continues to evolve as we research and learn more. During the 1990s, there was a lot of focus on the specific genes that contribute to autism. They found a lot of genes that were connected to autism, but not one single one was exclusively related to autism by itself. So that's how it became more of an umbrella spectrum. In 1998, a small study was conducted on 12 children that suggested there was a link between vaccines and autism, but the study was reviewed by other researchers and retracted for making fraudulent claims. The author's medical license was revoked, and since then, multiple studies have been done on thousands of children using proper procedures and have found absolutely no link between autism and vaccinations. There's still so much research that needs to be done on autism, and especially on girls and minorities, because most of the research that has been done have been on young white boys. Going forward, let's change our culture to represent people better and to change our culture to one of celebration and support of all people.